In the big Bilge Tank, we'll keep you in the know. In the big Bilge Tank, we'll fix your techie woes.
And we'll break things and we'll make things till we're all together raking, and
We'll raise a cup of grog down in the big Bilge Tank. In the big Bilge Tank, come and join our pirate crew. In the big Bilge Tank,
We will show you what to do.
and we'll hack it till we crack it.
and we'll tell the world about it and forget to tidy up.
That's why it's now a Bilge Tank.
Hello and welcome to episode 077 of the Bilge Tank.
077.
I've just realised I've got the streaming. It's a bad idea.
Yeah.
Let's get rid of that. We've got Ben Gray with us today and Dominic Murray.
Hello.
Ben's just launched the MeArm Pi Kickstarter this morning.
Yes.
So this is literally hot off the press.
It is, yes.
Which is the latest product from Mime Industries, which is a combination of you and Ben
Pert.
Furt. So
Yeah.
we're going to take a look at that today.
Cool. So yeah, we've got a lot of kind of history and baggage with these guys. Back when Pimmeroni was first starting up, they were two of the people, along with Aaron from Umlaut,
Yeah.
who kind of really helped us kind of navigate those early days, and kind of looking after us in true northern make-a-belt fashion. So yeah, it's nice to have you here to shoot the breeze and show off the new MeArm Pi, which is cute.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very
Thanks.
cute.
Cool.
So, tell us about it.
So it's a complete redesign. So the first MeArm came about just over 2 years ago, and it was a collaboration between myself and a guy called Jack Howard, and did really well, spread around the world virally, and it was fairly easy to make on a laser cutter.
Yep.
And the build was a little bit involved.
Mhm.
It took about 2 hours, which for some people was just a bit too much.
Right.
And but still it started and became its own thing, and MeArm as a company started to exist, started building them. And in the process of doing that, I started building other people's products, as you do, to keep sane.
Mhm.
Yep.
And I built this fantastic product called the Mirobot, which was made by Ben Pert.
Yeah. We backed that.
Yes, yeah, that which was also a Kickstarter.
Mm-hmm.
So I think there were 2 Kickstarters, and on building the second one, I was quite upset because it was just so good. It was one of those things that you build and you say, "Oh, how am I supposed to compete with this?" And fortunately, it turned out Ben wanted to work together, and so about 4 months ago now, we formed Mime Industries, and Ben took a stab at redesigning the MeArm, and that's where the MeArm Pi came in. We'd always wanted to do a Pi product as well,
Mhm.
and so it seemed a really great way to launch the new design and also to launch the MeArm Pi product.
And it's you can't really understate how much it matters that something's easy to assemble.
Yeah.
It takes a lot of thought and kind of
Mhm.
effort in the design to hit that right on the head.
Yep.
Yeah, so it's taken the build down to about half an hour, which we thought was about the
much
length of
better.
a build tank
Mhm.
How many
episode.
bolts did it used to have?
It used to have 42, and now
How
it's
many?
got 12, I think. I think there's 3 there, 1 there.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's about 12
Yeah,
and
so
6 elastic bands. The elastic band, they're the secret to the
So
construction.
You got this balance between kind of it being easy to build and it being robust is kind of
Yes.
the trade-off generally.
Yes.
Before it was kind of a military style build
Mhm.
Yeah.
with
yeah.
lots of bolts, and now it's kind of slick.
Yes. Yeah. It's really quite. Yeah. It goes
So you-
together in quite a clever way now.
Are you going to start building it then?
Yeah,
I'll-
Ben's going to build it live
I'll
during
give
the
it a
show.
go. So excuse me if I stop talking.
That's why we put Dominic in, so that he can take over. And
Yeah.
I, of course, know nothing about the MeArm, the Raspberry Pi MeArm. I'm not even sure what it's called, Ben.
It's called the MeArm Pi.
And I have hidden one of the parts just to make this a little bit more.
nice.
It's not an important one, I don't think.
Right.
Yeah.
okay.
So you've got, Dominic, you've got a long and storied history in the make scene in the UK. You've organised any number of mini and not so many make fairs. You're kind of basically the founder and heart at the start of Notting Hack. You've been there for EMF Camp, and you run Just Add Sharks.
That's right, Just Add Sharks, laser cutters for the evil genius.
Yeah, so that's you and
the very excellent maker and engineer Martin Rainsford, also known as MS Rainsford, who has a very famous blog about laser cut items.
Yeah.
And a little known fact actually, Dr. Ben Gray here on my left was originally the 3rd partner in Just Add Sharks.
Wow.
This is a little bit before MeArm.
But you kicked him out.
Well, he had to go and concentrate on his robots.
Right.
You can't raise a robot army to invade the world
Yeah.
No.
and be sidetracked by the lasers that they'll eventually use to destroy the world.
Yeah.
This is true.
So he's like the Rod Stewart to your small faces. Yeah. Okay. Brilliant. So yeah, We really need to get Aaron from Moonlight down sometime. We haven't seen him in ages.
Can you contain the madness though?
We can try.
You don't even try. No. Why would you want to?
Yeah, I don't know whether I'd watch that episode or want to be in it. I can't decide which side of the camera I want to be on for that one. I think probably on the other side, the safe side. You were right though. So the maker scene for me has been kind of the dominating thing in the last 6 years of my life somehow. Backspaces and the like.
Cool.
So first ever mini maker fair we went to was Bristol, which you organised.
Yes. Was it?
We drove down in terrifying conditions. There was like snow all the way down to about Leicester.
Right.
Yeah.
And
Mark had just started driving again, and he had to drive in.
This rings a bell. You were slightly late, I remember.
Yeah.
But
we almost died.
It was the first maker fair that I'd been sort of solely responsible for running. The first mini maker fair I'd been solely responsible for running, and we had we weren't open when we said we'd be open, and there were people queuing up outside the door.
Wow.
I think you sort of arrived in that kind of melee of craziness.
Yeah.
But that was a really good fair, and they continue to run the Bristol Mini Maker Fair. They had one this year, but it changed venue. Originally, it was in the Industrial Museum
Lovely
called
building, wasn't it?
M Shed.
Yeah.
Beautiful space, and the staff there were amazing, but they weren't so interested in running one the next year.
Okay.
And now it's been taken over by another museum called At Bristol, and they ran it in August rather than February. I think it was February, that first one. Because I thought it'd be cool to have a winter fair.
Yeah.
So you could all drive there. It was the only day that year it snowed.
Yeah, probably. I remember because we had to leave at about 5:30 in the morning,
Yeah.
and I had to trudge from my house down to the main road because it was impassable.
That's
So it was
right.
quite a long distance, and then get picked up and have a horrendous drive.
So
I
Julian
first met
Nichols.
you.
I'm just going to go to the chat here. Julian
Yeah.
Nichols say he got a MeArm back in the day, and he got some servos that weren't so good.
Right, yes, yeah.
You've got a story here. 'cause
Absolutely, yes.
You've kind of been there in the Tibetan hills with the kind of cowl on,
Absolutely. We
trudging through the snow to find better servos.
we've searched long and hard for better servos, and there are lots of things to consider with servos. Now we
To show the servo on screen,
now
Dominic.
we use metal gear servos.
Okay.
So they are they're analog servos. So they
Shove
don't
it
have,
right up in the
they don't
camera.
have-
Up in the camera.
They don't have a really
Present it as
fast
a gift.
refresh, so they don't jitter. They're also very strong, and the gears won't strip.
Metal gears is
Yeah.
a big deal because
Yeah,
if they're
metal-
just
yeah.
nylon, they tend to wear and strip very easily.
Yeah, so we've fought very hard, and we have to place pretty big orders to get these at a good price, so we can still keep the price of the MeArm down. But yes, servos has been a battle, and I know people along the way did get bad servos. But anyone who got servos that weren't great, get in touch, and we'll swap them out for these.
Yeah. You've been through a learning curve.
Yes, absolutely.
I think the thing is, when you're buying them kind of on the open market in China as such, you don't know what you're going to get from week to week.
Yeah.
No, and the
Well,
label
actually,
will be the same as the one you got before. but
Absolutely.
It's clearly from a different
Yes,
factory.
yes.
It's
Yeah.
And the
different
label
breed.
may say analog, and they're actually digital servos. But then the supplier will say, "Oh, but we upgraded them for you." Thanks for that.
Yeah, plastic's very modern, you know.
Yeah.
Doesn't work, but
very
then
old
they-
school.
Yes, yes.
There's a question on your Kickstarter page as well saying that you can get it in blue or orange.
Yes.
But I think the pledge doesn't state colour, so is that like a survey? thing
Yes, we'll
afterwards?
do a survey on that.
Oh, so
afterwards.
you can pick. You basically, if you pledge, you can just pick your colour at the point when they start deliveries.
Yes, yeah. People tend to like blue, so I think, if you want to go with the crowd, go for blue.
Yeah. Cool.
Is what
How
you're
you
saying
getting
is
on
you
there?
have a lot of blue perspex you need to use up.
That's
Well,
what
we don't have any of this at the moment, actually. So this is a new colour.
Can I have a look at your Allen key here? Because that's
Apparently, they're not very good.
They're not.
Like, this
They're
is
not.
just-
They're not as good as they look. Actually, there's a lot of money gone onto the colour, I think.
Yeah, this isn't
they've
being
got-
supplied with the kit. This is just
Yeah,
some
that's
that
just
Ben
the
brought
standard
along with
supply.
him.
Those
Oh.
Allen keys
Where's the full
definitely have
set?
a wow factor to them.
They do, but
Dominic,
people
grab
do
the
like
set.
them. So
It's down on
the
the
set's
floor.
just down there
yeah.
by the
Yeah.
bags.
sorry.
Because I looked at the set and instantly went, ooh.
Yeah.
And
I did the same thing this morning.
Right. Okay.
They've got the
that's it.
brand right, haven't they? But
Yes.
yeah, the rest of it is.
It's kind of just plastic
Not
dip,
very-
isn't it? Or
Yeah,
paint.
they've got a
Looks
bit
like
of
it.
paint on it, but it makes
Yeah.
them look quite fancy.
But they've got the
They're quite cute.
uniball ends as well, which
Yes.
means you can use it at angles.
There
Which
are
are-
some that these may be copied from that
Oh, yeah.
are wearer, and they are really lovely. About 30
Yeah.
quid a set, and they were looking at them this morning.
We were looking at those this morning.
Yeah.
Never seen that before.
You should forward that to us so we can think about stocking those.
We think every
Well,
good
these ones,
engineer,
because they're not very good.
every good engineer deserves
Well, you know what?
some good tools.
They're not bad. They're a passable office set of Allen keys, but you want good ones for your primo toolbox.
I think we can all agree they've got great wow factor.
Yeah.
There'll be a talking
About
point
that.
at parties,
Yes.
if nothing
Yeah.
else.
So how are you getting on?
Yeah.
You've got
I'm
the-
almost done.
Right.
Excellent. It looks like it.
So what you've got there is you've got the servo in the base. This does the...
Yeah, so this does the rotation on the base.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And the whole weight of the arm is essentially on that servo, right?
Yes, it is. Yeah. So the main weight of the arm actually sits on the bottom of these acrylic pieces.
Yeah.
Again, we've done probably the last couple of months. So once the design was finalised, we spent a lot of time actually refining and picking up some of the mistakes that happened to others, because as you guys all know, perspex is not the most accurate material to work
Well,
with.
it's 10% tolerance basically, isn't it?
Most of the time,
So-
Yeah, so you have to
And
grade and
sometimes,
think about where you're cutting holes and where you're relying on the thickness of the perspex to give you the tolerances.
Yeah.
So we've been pretty careful on actually what sits on what to give us the
Design for manufacturing.
Mm.
You
Very
came
much
to
so.
see us a couple of weeks ago and we went to have some beers when you brought one of the
Yes,
early
yeah.
prototypes of this. And you were saying that the servos, you like created some sort of jig to pre-calibrate them?
Yes.
So you get them in exactly the position they're meant to be
Yes.
for it to start up
Yeah,
and
so-
know what's going on.
So that was another issue people
Keep
had.
building, Ben. I can't stop building.
So another issue people had with the early MeArms was calibrating the servos. People would build it and have a really jolly time putting it together. Get to the end and think, well, how do I make this work? And then discover that they'd missed a step, and that was calibrating the servos.
So they were basically all left to one. They
Yeah.
wouldn't.
So when they plugged them in, it would have to be rebuilt.
So show that rubber band on the close-up cam.
Oh, I love these.
Yeah.
they're great.
Whereas
Up a bit and that way a bit. Yeah,
That's
there you
fine.
go.
Yeah.
Spot
You
it.
see the round
Hang
thing
on.
on the end of the camera.
yes,
Yeah.
I see. Yeah,
Cool.
yeah. So that's what holds the base together. And again, if anyone had built a MeArm, that was the trickiest part, was actually trying to hold 6 pieces together while you screwed it in with an Allen key. Whereas now
Yeah.
you just hold it together and put an elastic band around it,
Some great improvement.
and then it's quite robust.
Cool.
Yeah, the made-up unit that you showed us is super solid. Even though, I mean, I looked at the rubber bands and wondered about it, but then you start playing with it,
Yeah.
it clearly works. So.
Well, these are great. I mean,
Nice stuff.
I've used these in some of my laser cut projects. I have my wallet, which I'm going to take out and try not to show the number.
Yeah.
It uses a very similar method,
Oh, yeah.
and it's really really great way of holding some plastic together.
Cool.
Nice.
Yeah.
So is that a laser cut wallet?
It is.
Yeah.
Of course it is, it's Dominic.
Is that on the website anywhere?
No,
No.
it's literally in my
Should be-
pocket.
should
But
be
hang on,
on
let me just
that.
get rid of the card. Give us something to talk about while Ben looks for that part I hid.
Yeah.
So
I'm not
yeah,
really-
so I don't like having a lot of things in my pockets.
Yeah.
I think if it were socially acceptable, I'd probably wear a utility belt. You know what I mean, don't you, Paul?
Yeah. Yeah.
So I only carry my cards, and if I have some notes in this.
Yeah.
It's not RFID protected, or it doesn't
Well,
do
it
anything
could
like
be.
that. It could
If you
be.
made that out of like something ferromagnetic.
Yeah, but it's laser cut, so our laser cutters don't cut metal.
Yeah.
I mean, laser cutters can cut metal, but not ours.
Yeah, you get to plasma first, really, wouldn't you?
Yeah.
Plasma cutters are all easy to get. Yeah, there's the one I got in Maker Faire Bay Area. First time I went. It's the retool one's made out of seatbelts. So that's been
nice.
really minimal, and that's like all
Let's
I
have
have
a
in my
feel.
wallet.
Let's have a feel.
And seatbelt
Ooh, yeah, I like
material
that.
is super sturdy, isn't it?
Oh yeah.
And I guess upcycled as well, so easy
Yeah.
to find.
Yeah.
Relatively easy to find.
So I'll probably make one of my own of those and turn it into a magic wallet. The ones where you can pull on the elastic and the cards pop out.
I've toyed with putting that wallet design on Etsy, but in a way it's so simple. I'm always like, just if you want one, just make one.
Bang
Right.
the Thingiverse.
Well, it's this thing.
Yeah, you can go too far with these things.
You can broach open source now.
Someone sent me $3
That's true.
the other day on
Yeah.
Thingiverse.
Did they?
Yes, for a design. They said thanks for putting that on here, and they sent me $3. So
Awesome.
that was amazing.
Yeah. So open source wise, I think we have a good mix of kind of attitudes to open source.
It's true.
Ben, you are, I think, one of the best proponents who actually does open source and does it the way it's intended.
And it's worth mentioning the original MeArm was as successful as it was because
Yes.
it was an open design, right?
Yeah,
Anyone could
absolutely.
cut it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean,
So is this open source?
it is. Yes, in fact,
Already up there.
it's already up there. If you check out the Hackaday IO blog posts,
See the carg, open hardware.
Yeah. It must be
Yes.
open
So I
hardware.
hold
It's
it
got
up
the
to the
card.
thing.
the files are already up there. I think everything's on GitHub.
Yeah.
As far as all of the design files for the hat goes.
Is this on the Hackaday.io?
Yes.
Yeah. Do you want to bring
So-
up the tablet for a minute?
Yeah, we can do that.
So that's why this is already an award-winning product. We sort of did open development on
Go big with
Hackaday.io.
it. Let's go big.
We won first prize in their Raspberry Pi contest.
Whoa.
Who's? Oh, the Hackaday
And
one.
the Hackaday one, yeah.
Smart.
Yeah.
Early on, Ben taught me quite a good little rule of thumb for open source. So that if you can't find the item online, like the plans or the circuit diagram or whatnot, within 10 minutes, it's not open.
It's not open source.
You're trying to get the glow from it, but not actually do it.
Yeah.
There seems to be a lot of that. A lot of people kind of putting things open source and then saying, "Hey, I got cloned."
Yeah, eventually, open source. Eventually, oh, maybe not.
Yes,
Yeah. Because we kind of did some open sourcey things, but we found that they didn't really help people learn how to make stuff.
Yeah.
And we got cloned.
Right.
Which, you know.
Was it only for those things? Or did you get cloned for everything?
What are you thinking of?
Well, not everything, but...
I think the original Pibo case we put up as Creative Commons
right,
non-commercial, because we wanted people to be able to hack it and stuff. But we actually wanted to kind of hire people in Sheffield and kind of make the money here and do awesome things with it and contribute back to the Raspberry Pi project. And we found that was the worst of both worlds.
Yeah.
Because the people who were going to clone or ignore the non-commercial aspect did so quite happily.
They always will, right?
Yeah. Whereas the people who kind of were more kind of about learning and about doing things for their own personal thing didn't help them any more than kind of sharing privately.
It's such a difficult balance.
But we want people to be able to kind of modify their stuff, you know, that's part of the beauty of it, or to make an alternate version or whatever, but at the same time...
Learn and move on, develop.
We want to create jobs and, you know, develop new stuff, and it's... You can't...
And we're just the best at that.
We try.
How many people now?
3 started this week.
Yeah.
Whoa.
So 37, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Cool.
getting busy.
Yeah.
Good thing I bought extra sweet things to
I think Adafruit are very similar. The one thing we do open source routinely is the code.
Always the code, and actually
Yeah.
I think we are working towards the schematics, but we need to do quite a bit of work to get them into a presentable format where we can consistently deliver them.
We
But
go for throughput now.
the point where we kind of stop is the production files, the stuff that would let you just clone that item straight off.
Yeah, I'm probably not there. I'm not there with that. Production files, just think,
Well, you've got the production files
yeah.
out there.
DXFs basically, right?
Yeah.
Well, yes, but there's a lot of work that goes from taking the basic design of the DXF to actually make it. You know, if you're going to do a production line, if you're making one for yourself, or for a hack space or something like that, where you've actually got people that can, I suppose, take it off the machine in a nice way, but you're actually what you're using to produce it. It's not quite the same.
I think that's fair enough. Like just providing plans to make one, that's reasonable, definitely. Rather than there's a lot of work can go into making something totally suitable for laser cut production.
Yeah, like the display frame that we did is a good point. The one for the touchscreen display, we spent weeks and weeks and weeks holding that design down. And how many days was it after when it started being sold, but not from us? From a certain site that we're aware of that we're not going to talk about.
On the mainland Europe. Yeah.
On the mainland Europe. It's a site that we'd had a bit of a disagreement with before. You probably do. Most people do. And they used to sell our Pibos and then started getting knockoff Pibos from China. And then
No, they were making them themselves.
Oh well, yeah, okay, they were probably cooking them themselves. And then the second we launched display frame, like within days, they were selling something that was identical. So they basically bought one from us, traced the outlines.
Yeah.
But did they not say imitation is the highest form of flattery?
Yeah. It is, yeah.
But this guy's
piracy is a good problem.
Piracy is the highest form of robbery.
Yeah. And if it's that easily cloned by somebody who's got the skills, then I'm actually not too hurt by that.
No, it's not.
It's just
it's not the end of times. It's just annoying.
When they start selling to other people, it starts.
But there has been good things. There was somebody who kind of violated.
I was just going to say, just before we move on with this subject, the hackday.io page is great. There's loads of information on there. There's like a 28-step instruction for build. All of the files that you need, like the DXFs and the BOM and all that kind of stuff, is up there. So check it out. It's on hackday.io. You need to search for MeArm, all one word, and then it will come back as like the third or fourth result, which is a bit irritating, but you'll find it. So it's very, very cool. Okay.
They just mentioned on the chat that the white piece looks like a cat.
Yes.
I just want to point out for the record, I was the first to notice this.
Yeah. Dominic basically defined that. So
I couldn't.
You guys can't have it.
Couldn't rest.
So show us what you're doing with the cable here.
So the cable's tidy. I'm just making sure
there,
that
if you can get it in the frame.
the cable's tidy round, and I'm just making sure. In fact, I probably started the wrong way. So they wrap around once, and then they plug in. So the PCB now is the base, which again is really good.
Nice,
you don't have to tolerance it.
There's something quite nice about that mixed material thing as well. It feels a bit less like just a plastic box.
Yes,
it's a bit more texture to it.
Yeah, I agree with that.
And these little clips on the side I'll show are quite nice too. They don't so much as sort of clip on, but because you've got the elastic bands to put them on afterwards, let's just do one. They just hook over the top.
Cool.
And spring on.
And a lot of this is the other Ben's kind of influence, isn't it?
This is all Ben Pertman. It's probably why I'm struggling to build it so much. So it's no longer my design.
There's a lot of nice detail here, though. Kind of like nice organic forms and shapes, and little touches like the cable routing slots and things like that. It's well thought out.
Yeah,
it's a nice product. So basically here, because the servos come with a standard cable length,
yes,
the guys have a solution to kind of tie that cable up, and then it's just got a 3-pole connector you plug straight into. You're going to get there eventually, Ben.
I'm going to get there.
It's painful watching you try. But,
yeah, I'm trying to listen, and I just can't do two things at once.
That's fine. That's fine.
I can barely do one thing most of the time, so I'll leave that. I'm just going to carry on. I'll make it look
cool. Do you want me to have a play with that while you play with the next bit, and I'll see if I can work out how to wind it around and get it plugged in.
Fantastic.
Let's see how it goes.
I'm going to try and
just to kind of tie up the whole open source thing. We are more happy to share knowledge and people who have questions. We have a lot of people come by saying, how do I do this? How do I go forward with designs? How do I learn this? And we love sharing that info. We love kind of passing on the knowledge so people can do things themselves.
Yes.
We're less about people just kind of kicking out something without any learning involved.
Yes.
I think, right.
Yeah.
I think so.
Totally.
We'd like to what's the word? Facilitate.
Facilitate and empower.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But not so much just give you the files to go and make it yourself.
Do lol make. Lol make's a good start. You know, we all started kind of doing things. I started off copying things and just doing it without any knowledge, and then moving on to actually doing and learning. So, you know, everybody starts somewhere, but
there's definitely an accepted method of learning. I think we all start through imitation, really.
Yeah.
And I suppose like if there's a message from that, is anyone isn't making something, that's definitely where to start.
Right.
Just see something you like and copy it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
even 3D printing something from Thingiverse, you'll learn something.
Yes.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Because it'll probably go wrong, right? And you have to work out why.
Yeah.
Or you'll mess it up, or you'll learn something, or you know.
You'll find it's not quite that strong, and you shouldn't have built a bridge out of 3D printed parts.
Yeah.
You know, that kind of thing. Yeah. All cool. Anyway, yeah.
So Ben's totally right. You can't think and do this at the same time.
I think what we're finding these days, and I think it's something that Adafruit kind of gone down the path as well, is that these days, if you're looking at making something that's popular and you want to kind of protect it from cloners, then trademarks have become the go-to tool.
Yeah.
So MeArm, Mime Industries, Adafruit, NeoPixels, us with certain hats like Explorer. Then we find that trademarks are kind of the only useful way of stopping people trying to just make a quick buck.
And
making a quick buck, that's the thing.
Perversely, it's not the actual thing you're protecting at that point, but the ability for people to find it to buy.
Yeah.
So it's like the search results you're protecting.
Yes.
So if someone searches for a Pybo, they don't see a knockoff one because we can request that a Pybo search results taken down if it doesn't perform our trademarks.
Yeah, which is we're tying into the whole globalization thing, but
but it is a good protection tool without actually
it's what we got.
Removing access to the thing itself.
Because in that name is tied all of your work. It's tied the the things that we do for the quality of the servos now, because we've had problems in the past. Whereas now, if someone buys them from a mainland European supplier, for example. They may find
most of which are fine, by the way.
Yeah,
this is one person we're talking about.
This is one person. Yes, but if you buy a MeArm not from us, you're perhaps not going to get those things, and that's why MeArm as a trademark is worth something.
Right.
So that's.
Absolutely.
Took barely 5 minutes. I'm referring to your own instructions on Hackday.
Fantastic.
So thank you for that, Ben.
Well done. Well, that's the other
thing. I think
part.
I've even put them in the right way around.
So I'm quite impressed. Again,
you mean you're impressed with yourself?
It's not. Well, I'm impressed that I built it.
Well done, Ben.
This isn't my design. It's just I've built a lot of the old ones. I mean, hundreds of them, and that part would take 20 minutes alone. And I've just done that while you were wrapping the cables around.
That's it. You make me look bad now. Thanks. I can kind of imagine the other Ben wincing in chat.
Oh,
I assume he's currently typing.
Yes, he should be. Yes.
He's glowing with pride, I'm sure.
Yes.
Hi, Ben.
There was one good story though. I think one of the early people who kind of downloaded the Creative Commons non-commercial and started selling it, and we kind of kindly went up to them and said, "Can you please not do that?" And they went away and they made their own designs, and then I think they're now doing very well selling Pi cases.
I think I know the guys. There's quite nice organic wood-looking ones. The guys
there is some out
American
there, those guys. Yeah. So they've absolutely gone out there and said, actually, no, okay. Yeah, we should maybe get creative.
Yes.
And they've done very well out of it, and that's
it's fine.
Just doing it right.
Everyone's a winner in that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely. You're not just trading off the other person's brand, which is
Yeah.
basically where the problem
And they
is.
feel better for it, I'm sure.
Yeah. Well, I hope so.
I mean, this ties in. I think my ultimate philosophy is if you're not working towards either feeding the planet or getting us off this planet onto another planet, then you're in the way. That's where we've got to be. We've got to either grow more food efficiently, or we've got to go to other planets.
Yeah.
So basically, all this learning and making is making it so that we can take care of our immediate needs, and let the kind of people at the edge stream ahead and build better spaceships to get us off the planet.
So while we're protecting your Raspberry Pi, Elon Musk is getting us to Mars.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So while you're looking after your own computer, repairing your own stuff, 3D printing stuff, the sum total of human knowledge and the water level of knowledge is rising.
Yeah.
So you end up with kind of, where we can get off the planet.
One day.
Or at least should the apocalypse happen, you know more than the other guys and therefore you are valuable. So that's a good fallback strategy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Cool.
You have tactical advantage.
Yeah.
We're just watching the Kickstarter. It's up to 126 backers.
Wow.
Very good. It's not that far from its goal. In fact, when did you launch
Far.
it? 10ish.
12 o'clock.
12 o'clock.
Right.
That's a midday start.
70%.
3.5 hours.
Yeah.
Cool.
Not bad.
Wow.
If you've got any questions for Ben, you can ask in chat and we'll read them and we'll tell them to him because he's otherwise disposed at the moment.
Yeah, it's good. I'm distracted now and saying, what was the thing with Simone Gertz?
That was a bit random, really. I had a message on Facebook one day from someone saying, I'm thinking of making a television show in Norway, and I'd like to make a hat with a robot toothbrush. Would you please send me a MeArm to make it with? And I thought, well, why not? So that went. In fact, I thought, why not? And then did the usual thing of not doing anything about it. So then she emailed me again and said, "Where's my robot? I want to make this thing with a hat." So I ended up sending it, and she made the hat with a toothbrush on.
Yep.
That went viral, and then she started making. Mind your ears, kids, shitty robots for a living.
Oh yes.
And that's where that was Simone's first shitty robot.
Cool.
Was from sending a free MeArm.
And she's now
Now a
just
regular on testing.
Yeah, now I'm
right?
testing,
Yeah.
which is
But she's got an amazing
All our
attitude.
favourites.
Just get on with it.
absolutely.
She's
Yeah,
very
that's
fun.
it. Just
Yeah.
make things.
Yeah.
Uh,
Doesn't have to work perfectly, but yeah.
Yeah.
That's a good thing. You should see her popcorn hat. That's awesome.
Yeah.
She
Yeah.
did it with I can't remember
With
the
Adam.
name. That's it, Adam
Adam
Savage.
yeah.
He did some of the part moulding in America and then shipped the stuff over to her in Sweden, I guess, where she finally built it.
I think
Yeah.
she
And
was.
it really was a shitty robot, but in the best possible way.
Yes, absolutely.
It was quite
It's
fun.
good. It makes people kind of say, it doesn't matter if it doesn't work. I
No,
made something.
it can still be hilarious.
Yeah.
And just be worth putting on YouTube. Or
Get
something,
over that
you know.
fear of kind of trying something.
Well, going on the first MeArm, which is on Thingiverse, was kind of 4 sticks and a servo and a couple of servos and an Arduino.
Mm-hmm.
And I put that on Thingiverse and sort of forgot about it. And then someone made one, which again, so just the fact that I made something and put it on there, and they actually fed back into the sort of enthusiasm of doing something. So, well, actually, someone's seen this and taken the trouble to make it,
Yeah.
Right.
and that sort of spurred on the next versions, which as I mentioned, Jack Howard, had a massive part of designing.
So here you've got the bolt going directly into the perspex
Yes.
and nothing else,
Yeah, so
which that's
these,
a nice piece of work.
so these all self-tap.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to think of the sort of the tolerance. It's sort of I think about 2/10 of a mil.
Right.
That's presumably not going to be a problem for most laser cutters, is it? You don't need like particularly high end to do that kind
No,
of thing.
not
No. You could do this with a hobby laser.
Yeah, so all the first ones were done on sort of as low as you can
What's
go.
the footprint of the layer of parts roughly?
It always was 200 by 300 millimeters, so you
Yeah.
could do it on the smallest machine.
Right, yeah.
So I mean, now these are the biggest parts. So I think it's probably 300 by 300 now in terms of square millimeters of.
So it's two goes in an A3 size cutter.
In an A3
is
you could do a
fine.
whole one.
You can do a whole one.
It's it was an A4 sheet before, so it's
Right,
sort
right.
of 1.5 A4 sheets now.
So definitely achievable for most schools and hacker spaces to have a
Absolutely.
cutter,
Great project for schools.
and for lots of hobbyists as well.
Yeah.
Are you guys going to be selling stuff like just the servos? So if people do want to laser cut their own in their own colours or change the nippy.
Yes,
clamp
we have done that in the past, and I think we'll continue to do so. So we sort of toyed with the idea. We'd like to do a 3D printed version once we've sort of established this.
Yeah.
So that and then kind of sort of move to the idea of a ghost kit. So of all of the components, all of the screws you need and the servos and the hat. So then you 3D print your own body part. Or laser cut
from the design.
Or laser cut from
Because
the
to
design
be
file,
fair,
it's a school's project.
actually sourcing all the things like the different screws is quite a pain.
Yeah.
So just getting them all together in one go is
Yeah.
helpful. I'm very sour on 3D printing generally, as Paul will know. Because I just it's too slow.
I'm with you.
It drives me nuts.
I want a fist bump for that.
Boom.
But it works for certain things.
But I think it's really telling that you have so many, especially maker products, that are actual volume products laser cut, and basically none that are 3D printed.
Yeah,
It's true. I mean, 3D printers are fun, but I think, and I don't want to detract from them at all, but they're great for like one of one.
Yeah.
You know, where you have one
Scratch your
unique
own
thing.
itch.
Yeah, you know, I want to make this one thing for this one specific task once, a thing that will fit exactly in my ear, for instance, like a hearing aid. And also, it's a great project. Build a 3D printer. Can it be done? That's a great project. But for mass producing anything, laser cut or otherwise. I mean, because I would say that.
I know G. We have some like operator lamps for the solder stations downstairs, and G like drills a core through the desk.
Right.
Then laser prints like a grommet insert, but then the
3D
operator's lamp, 3D prints an insert that goes in the hole that the lamp goes into, which is great. I don't know why he doesn't just drill a small hole, but you know.
Well, if you've
for
only got
good reasons,
if you've only got one size drill bit, then 3D printing something for 8 hours is the obvious answer.
It gives you a solution, right?
Yeah.
But
Some
I think
of
it
that
just
stuff
gives
is
it
like
more
40-minute print, but it's chipboard things, so any kind of sideways force will chip away in it.
Yeah. And it's only thin, right? And his plug is tight.
But that's
Comes
such a
across the
specific
straight.
task for him, right? And it's like maybe it's a 1 of 8 task, and that's perfect thing for a 3D printer.
Yeah.
Well, there's things like we get our bolts and nuts from TR Fastings, and when they have a custom job, they will 3D print a bolt from customer to actually try for
As a
fit.
sample. We've done third-party SLS printed parts for testing, haven't we?
Oh yeah.
And you can see it for that, but it's I think a laser cutter is more powerful because it is the start of a production line for me. Like you can actually produce a product with it.
You
3D
prototype
printing
and then,
adds something to the design process, but doesn't get you to the end
It's
result.
the level of finish as well, isn't it, for laser cutting you're actually sort of making.
But
For a
if you're
very reasonable
looking,
cost.
if you're looking at an intermediate for say injection molding, then
Yes, that's
Maybe.
very true.
Yeah.
I mean, and in combination, you know, rapid prototyping with both 3D printing and laser cutting can't be beat. You can have something put together with all kinds of interesting and complex.
Jan A. Funk says 3D printing is great.
Somebody else
Thanks,
says
Jan.
you all the way.
Do you want to show off the hat, just so people can see
yes.
the raw hat?
I was going to mention the joysticks actually, because these are the same part that we used on the Flotilla joystick. Well, I think we agreed on that, didn't we? Ben? We were
Yes,
talking about it the other day.
Yeah.
And they're really good. They're basically the Xbox, the original Xbox joysticks,
360.
aren't they? Oh, was it 360? The
Yeah.
original 360.
They look good quality.
And
They're
they've
really
just
nice.
got really nice click. They've got really nice action. They're very accurate.
And they've got micro switch there as well.
Click and switch. And we use them for Flotilla, and they're a great joystick.
Yep. Cool.
What ADC have you got on there then? You just got like an MCP 3008 or something?
Yes.
I'm going to say yes.
Sounded impressive.
Yeah.
It's a lot of numbers.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's the microchip one, isn't it? Like the classic
Yes.
hobbyist
Actually,
analog
yeah.
chip. Comes
so-
in dip format as well.
Yeah, I think it's. I don't know actually. Ben on the chat. Other
Help us, Ben.
Hey, other Ben.
Well, I mean,
Oh yeah, there he is. There's the Mime logo.
Yeah. He's been answering questions.
Yeah, I've been talking to
Well
him.
done, Ben.
Gently
Hey,
shaking
Ben.
his head in text.
But you have obviously 4 analog channels there because you've got the
Yes.
2 axes of 2 different joysticks
Yeah.
and then the click events themselves.
Yeah.
You can actually see the potentiometers on the side.
Yeah, you can.
They are cool.
You
aren't
can
they?
clip them straight off, so you can actually. So you can clip them off.
Bring it right up. There you
So
go.
that's the little
Oh, yeah.
orange potentiometers on the side. So they do actually clip off.
Huh.
So if they do wear, you can replace them. Well, you have to desolder, but and people do replace them on Xbox mods for more accurate potentiometers as well. But they are pretty good.
Well,
Yeah.
Ben says it's the PCF 8591.
Oh, of course.
Which is an 8-bit analog digital converter.
Yeah. And digital analog, apparently.
And apparently DA as well. Yeah. So it's just a nice squared C device. Should be nice and easy to talk to. You can actually get this in dip package as well. It's incredible. It's so rare you open a data sheet now and it'll show you a dip option of the part. It's yeah, sad times really.
Yeah.
That's all. Yeah.
This looks like a
4-channel
button,
ADC.
A little bit.
He's nearly there.
Cool. And it runs over I2C. So
I2C, it looks like it's got 3
Doing
address
well,
set
yeah.
lines, so presumably you can relate to these alongside each other, which is pretty
Do you
cool.
need an extra one?
There might be some sort of external interrupt there as well, I'm not sure. But yeah, useful little part. It was 2.7 to 5 volts, I think it said.
cool.
2.5 to 5 volts.
So TTL
Well, it's an
Ish.
ADC, I don't know.
in terms of the. Oh no, is that the signalling?
CMOS.
CMOS.
8-bit CMOS data acquisition device.
Look at that. More bands going.
It's nearly done. We're going to actually power this up, aren't we? And we
Yes.
think it'll work.
We hope it'll work.
That wasn't bad. How far in are we?
I have no idea anymore.
36 minutes.
Okay.
Six.
And we didn't
With-
start
with
until
chatting.
We've done a lot of
quite end.
chatting.
So that has basically been half an hour.
Yeah. But then again, you did help, so that will set him back a bit.
Yeah.
You're going to get a time penalty for that, aren't you?
Okay, so you got the.
No, you basically
So-
sliding.
yeah,
These
so
things
that's-
are called horns, aren't they, on these
Yes.
servos? So when you buy a servo, you get the kind of plastic unit itself with the wires hanging out, and then you tend to get a little set of actuators called horns, and they basically screw onto the end of the shaft of the servo gear thing.
Yeah. yeah.
So are you?
So those are coming pre-screwed. So you don't
They
use a
look much
screwdriver.
nicer than the horns you usually get.
Not the ones we usually get. Introduce you.
All right, fair enough. But it's a nice chunky piece of plastic.
It is, yeah.
Quite often they look a bit flimsy.
Well, again, it's just from that, trying to making sure that we're getting decent supplies the whole time. So we've specified those because again, on our development, we did then get a batch that were different. So when you're having the cutouts exactly made, so this last elastic band holds the front of the plate on, but the elastic bands also act as a set of feet.
Yeah, nice little gripper.
as well.
And then we connect this. This.
And these are delivering in July, or
July,
at least
yes.
the first 1,000 units.
Yes.
Yeah. Nice.
So you've got an SD card in there already with
SD
these
card
scripts
already,
on,
yes, with the script on.
and there is a tier for that, isn't there? In
There
the
is, yes.
Kickstarter.
And then it's live.
It lives.
Cool. Bring it backwards so we can see it.
And how can we talk to that?
So
Obviously, you can drive it direct with
you
the
can drive
joysticks.
it direct with the joysticks, and then we've got, so you can obviously connect to the Pi directly, but then also you can connect to it via Raspberry Pi Local,
Okay.
and then we have a web-based, browser-based series of apps that you can use.
We haven't tried that. Do you expect that would work here?
It won't be on your local network.
We haven't joined it.
Oh yeah, it's not.
Yeah.
It's not auto joining.
So it's not auto joining the network,
No, it
unfortunately.
can't. Can
Is
it?
it going to work now then?
It will.
Let's hope
soon
so.
with the
There
joysticks.
we go.
That was a tense moment.
It was.
It's always a tense moment waiting for the pipe to boot. So you've got 4 servos in there,
Yeah.
2 joysticks. So obviously one axis
One
equals
axis
one
each,
servo,
yeah.
basically. Yeah.
Jaws. Banana. Get the banana.
What can you pick up?
A bit heavy.
Carry the banana.
It's going to try. Close the jaws. Close the jaws.
Just,
He's trying to work out
I'm
which
trying
controls
to work
which.
out which controls which. I think
There's a shark here if you want to label them.
I'll try something small.
Found the jaws.
There we
Control.
go.
There we go.
There's
He's
the
got it,
jaws.
he's got it,
the banana might be a bit heavy,
he's got it.
but Sharpie.
Sharpie.
So obviously controlling. Let's get some paper. Ooh, what sheet of paper?
Yeah, we have.
So obviously controlling it directly from the joysticks is kind of fun, but it's
Yeah.
not really the.
No,
The
it's
point,
not
is it?
really,
It's not
not
the-
really the point. No.
You've got a visual programming language that looks very like Blockly.
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
It is Blockly, and there's Snap on there too. I think it's
There's a video. Should we watch an
Yes.
informational video?
Oh,
Right.
yeah.
Are we getting audio from the HDMI?
We could potentially get audio. Let me see if I can take that full screen.
It's drawn a
Stick
shark.
on
Yeah,
there.
it sounds like
There
it.
you go. It's drawn a shark, just by shark's lasers.
Come on, Dominic.
I can see it.
Nothing obscene, please.
Well,
Don't drop the pen.
I dropped the pen, guys.
You totally dropped the pen.
Okay, we have audio.
Open a little bit.
Well, I have to work out how to do that.
The other one. Yep. And then close. There.
But you could laser cut your own jaws for this.
Yeah, well, that was the thing. We talked about potential stretch goals and things.
Yeah, about a pen holder, camera for the front.
It would be wicked to mount the Pi's camera on the front of there.
Yes.
And be able to.
Dedicated pen holder would be a good one, wouldn't it?
And presumably, not that you'd want to necessarily have that complexity for stretch goals or whatever, but in theory that entire front with the servo control could be replaced by something else.
Absolutely.
So you could do some quite interesting stuff with that. We're just watching the video at the moment with the various programming things. So you've got some sort of JavaScript environment, you've got the Blockly style stuff, and then I think there was 2 other there.
There's Python and Snap.
Nice. Cool.
And so there's also at the top there, so there's sliders that you can click and control as well. So
at the top of the browser?
At the top of the browser, yes. Yeah, so you can just click and use the sliders to control one of the servos, which is great for positioning, so you can position and read off that position to your code.
Oh, so essentially almost to calibrate your key points that you might want to move between.
Yeah.
Very nice.
Cool. I'm just going to kill the audio on that so we can continue chatting over the top.
I'll get rid of that now. Yeah.
We can run in the background while we. So yeah, it works and it's good.
It works.
Yeah.
Half an hour.
Half an hour. See, we proved it. You can build that in half an hour.
Half
and he doesn't even know what he's doing.
No, I haven't got a clue.
Not even his design.
That's my Elon Musk quote that I'm using at the moment.
What's that?
He just says, I want to make this absolutely clear. We have no idea what we're doing.
Excellent. So you should totally get on Kickstarter and give that a look.
Cool.
There's another video on the Kickstarter right at the top, which is a bit more of you guys introducing yourselves.
Yes. Yeah.
Yep. Cool.
Very cool.
It's good. We can stay here for a minute because Dominic is just like staring at the camera, terrified now.
Is it?
In case anyone asks him a question or something.
No one's going to ask me. Am I the only person that thinks a brand of cologne called Elon Musk would be a great?
Yeah.
You'd buy it, right?
I would, absolutely, yeah.
Totally, why not?
I don't even know why.
Yeah.
I want that.
Yeah, Elon Musk.
Cool. Makes you
Would
very
you buy it
brilliant.
if it was called Elon's Musk?
No.
See,
It's
there's a very fine line between
branding's
brilliant and
hard.
stupid,
Yeah.
isn't it? So I think I will actually put my wallet up on Thingiverse.
Yeah.
I thought you said you were going to put your hand in your wallet and back this Kickstarter.
Oh, already done.
Oh,
Okay, cool. Yeah.
For the purposes of television comedy.
Yeah. And if we look on chat, the other Ben is condescending to you. So that's nice. Nice work on the build, Benji.
I appreciate that. That's genuine.
I think that he said that with heart.
We do genuine.
Yeah.
Good. Right.
Look at the smiles in the video.
Well, I think that's all we've got for this week. We'll be back on Thursday when we've got the folks from Resin.io showing off their hacks.
Another guest show.
Awesome.
Yeah.
They do some really cool. It's container stuff, isn't it? The resin system.
What is a Resin.io?
It's all about deploying software to lots of nodes of things. So if you've got things like remote displays, or you've got kind of a deployment in industrial settings, then they're all about deploying software in a good way. But really, it's an excuse for them to build massive clusters of Pis and boom boxes and things and hacks. So they'll be on, and it'll be the first time we've met them in person, and we'll be chatting about that. So tune in for them.
Yep.
In the meantime, don't forget to like,
subscribe,
And comment
on this video.
tell your friends in person.
Oh, tell your friends in person.
Right.
Say goodbye,
Take care,
Dominic.
folks.
Goodbye, Dominic.
Well played.